Picture this, you're in a car, maybe on your way to work or perhaps embarking on a weekend adventure. The sun is shining, the music is playing, and you're holding a warm cup of coffee. The aroma fills the car, promising a jolt of energy to kickstart your day. It's the perfect scenario, right? Suddenly, out of nowhere, a furry little creature darts across the road, a squirrel perhaps, or some other small animal making a mad dash for safety. Instinct takes over and the driver slams on the brakes to avoid a collision. The car screeches to a halt, throwing you forward in your seat. You brace yourself, heart pounding. The car stops, you stop, but your coffee? What becomes of that precious caffeinated beverage? It keeps going, propelled forward by an invisible force, right onto the dashboard. A brown wave crashes against the plastic, leaving a sticky, unwelcome residue. That's not just a mess, it's science in action. It's a real world demonstration of a fundamental principle that governs the motion of everything in the universe. The coffee keeps moving because of inertia, that tendency of objects to resist changes in their state of motion. Inertia, in simple terms, is an object's resistance to changing its motion. It's why things at rest tend to stay at rest and things in motion tend to stay in motion unless acted upon by an external force. Before the sudden braking, your coffee was moving at the same speed as the car. It was happily cruising along, sharing your journey. When the car stopped, however, the coffee, thanks to inertia, wanted to keep moving forward at that same speed. It hadn't received the memo about the sudden stop. The cup, firmly held in your hand, stopped along with the car. But the liquid inside, obeying the laws of inertia, didn't. It continued its forward trajectory. This isn't just about coffee, of course. The same principle applies to anything loose in your car, your phone, your bag, even that spare change in the cup holder will lurch forward for the same reason. Inertia is a fundamental property of all matter, regardless of size or composition. From the tiniest grains of sand to the most massive giant planets, everything possesses inertia. If something is still, like a book resting on a table, it wants to stay still. It requires a force to get it moving. And if it's moving, like a ball rolling across the floor, it wants to keep moving in a straight line at a constant speed. To change that state of motion, to start something moving, to stop it, or to change its direction, you need a force, a push, or a pull. So next time you find yourself cleaning up a spilled drink or chasing after a runaway object, remember you're witnessing one of physics' most important and fundamental principles in action. That flying coffee, that unexpected mess on your dashboard is your personal, albeit unfortunate, introduction to the concept of inertia. It's happening all around you all the time, influencing the motion of everything you see and interact with. Physics is not just in textbooks, it's in your everyday life. And maybe, just maybe, keep a lid on your drink next time. A little preventative measure can save you a sticky situation and a deeper understanding of physics in the process. So inertia, it's a fundamental concept in physics, but what does it really mean? Let's break inertia down into simpler terms so we can all understand it better. We're going to explore what it is, how it works, and why it's so important in our everyday lives. Imagine a soccer ball sitting peacefully on your living room floor. It's just there, not doing anything. Now ask yourself, will it suddenly decide to roll away on its own? Will it spontaneously start moving across the room? Nope. It stays put, perfectly still, until something or someone applies a force to move it. It will remain at rest unless acted upon. That's inertia in its simplest form. An object at rest has a tendency to stay at rest. It's the resistance to change in its state of motion. Now, let's switch gears. Picture a bowling ball, massive and round, rolling down a lane with considerable speed. It keeps moving straight, maintaining its velocity and direction until it slams into the pins with a satisfying crash, or until the friction of the lane gradually slows it down. It won't stop on its own. That's the other side of inertia. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, moving at the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an external force. So, in essence, inertia is an object's inherent stubbornness. It's the property of matter that resists any change in its state of motion. If an object is not moving, it takes a considerable amount of effort, a force, to overcome its inertia and get it going. Conversely, if an object is already moving, it requires effort, like applying brakes or encountering resistance to stop it, slow it down, or change its direction. Everything in the universe, from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, possesses inertia, even delicate feathers to massive freight trains, and even the planets that orbit distant stars. It's crucial to remember that inertia itself isn't a force, it's the underlying reason why things don't spontaneously change their state of motion without the application of a force. It's the principle at play when you pedal a bike with all your might to overcome its initial resistance and get it moving forward. And it's the reason why you need to apply the brakes to bring it to a halt. Ever seen magicians perform the impressive trick of pulling a tablecloth from under a set of dishes without disturbing them? That's inertia at work, keeping the dishes stubbornly in place while the tablecloth is swiftly removed. It might look like magic, but it's not. It's simply the elegant application of physics principles. Inertia is a fundamental aspect of our universe. It's everywhere around us, constantly shaping the way objects move, stop, and interact with each other. Once you understand the concept and start looking for it, you'll begin to see inertia in action in countless everyday scenarios. Pretty cool, right? It's amazing how much of our world can be explained by understanding just a few basic principles of physics. Inertia isn't a new idea. For centuries, people thought objects needed a constant push to keep moving. Then came Sir Isaac Newton, who changed everything. Newton's first law of motion, also called the law of inertia, says an object will stay at rest or in uniform motion unless acted on by an external force. That's why a soccer ball stays put, a bowling ball keeps rolling, and coffee keeps flying. Newton realized motion in a straight line is just as natural as being at rest. You only need a force to change motion, not to keep it going. This idea explained everything from falling apples to orbiting moons. Every time you see inertia in action, you're seeing Newton's law at work. It's a rule that still governs every move you make. Which is harder to push, a toy car or a real car? The real car, of course. Why? Mass. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. More mass means more inertia. A real car's massive inertia resists changes in motion, making it harder to start or stop. The same goes for a heavy cannonball versus a light plastic ball. The heavier one is harder to move and stop. Engineers consider inertia when designing bridges, planes, and more. More mass means more stubbornness to change. Mass and inertia are two sides of the same coin. It's a simple rule with huge real-world effects. Whether it's sports, safety, or engineering, inertia matters. Remember, mass measures inertia. Inertia isn't just some abstract idea confined to science labs with beakers and complicated equations. It's not just a topic for textbooks or a concept reserved for physicists in white coats. It's a fundamental property of the universe. You experience it every day, whether you realize it or not. It's woven into the fabric of your daily routine. Think about riding on a bus. When it starts or stops suddenly, you feel thrown back against your seat or lurch forward, sometimes even grabbing for support to avoid falling. That's your body's inertia resisting the change in motion, trying to maintain its current state. It's a direct consequence of Newton's first law. Ever notice groceries rolling forward in your shopping cart when the bus brakes abruptly? That's inertia in action. Now, let's move to the laundry room, a place where physics might not be the first thing that comes to mind. But even here, the washing machine's spin cycle relies on inertia to fling water out of your freshly cleaned clothes. It's a clever application of physics, thanks to inertia. The drum spins rapidly, forcing the clothes to rotate. But the water, due to its inertia, wants to keep moving in a straight line, resisting the circular motion. As a result, it flies out through the strategically placed holes in the drum, leaving your clothes damp but not soaking wet. Believe it or not, even flying a drone involves a constant negotiation with inertia. The propellers must work tirelessly to overcome the drone's inertia, allowing it to start moving, stop midair, hover steadily, or change direction with precision. Every single start, stop, and turn you make throughout your day is essentially a carefully choreographed dance with inertia. From that first sip of your morning coffee all the way to folding your evening laundry, the principle of inertia is constantly at work, influencing the world around you and your interactions with it. It's the invisible yet ever-present force subtly shaping your movements and the motion of objects around you. Once you begin to notice it, to truly see its effects, you'll start to recognize inertia everywhere you look, in almost every action and reaction. It's far more than just a theoretical physics concept, it's an integral and unavoidable part of your daily life experience. Inertia is the silent partner, the unseen hand in virtually everything you do, from the simplest to the most complex actions. It's the fundamental property of matter that dictates how things move and how they resist being stopped. So take a moment to appreciate the physics that's happening all around you every single day. Inertia is even more dramatic in space where there's almost no friction or air resistance. Push a tool in space and it'll drift in a straight line, possibly forever, unless something stops it. Rockets need huge force to overcome their massive inertia and launch from rest. Once in space, spacecraft coast along following their inertia. The Voyager probes, for example, have been drifting for decades, engines off, just following inertia. To change direction, even slightly, mission controllers must fire thrusters to provide a new force. Astronauts tightening bolts in space experience inertia too. Turn a wrench and you might spin the other way, unless you're braced or tethered. Inertia shapes every move in space, from launches to simple repairs. Newton's laws are on full display out there. Inertia is the rule of the cosmos. Inertia can be dangerous, so we design safety features to protect us. Seatbelts keep you from flying forward in a crash by applying a force to slow you down safely. Airbags cushion your motion, spreading out the stopping force. Helmets protect your brain by absorbing impact, reducing the force on your head. Without these, inertia could cause serious injuries. Car bumpers and crumple zones absorb energy, increasing stopping time and protecting passengers. All these inventions use physics to outsmart inertia's risks. We can't get rid of inertia, but we can work with it. Safety features are brilliant applications of Newton's laws. Physics saves lives every day. Inertia resists change, but force is what makes things happen. Every push, pull, kick, or throw is you applying force to overcome inertia. In sports, a soccer ball sits still until a player kicks it, a force that overcomes its inertia. The heavier the ball, the more force needed. Baseball, weightlifting, tennis, all are battles between force and inertia. Tug of war, the team that applies the greater force wins. Force is the agent of change, making our world dynamic. Inertia keeps things as they are, force makes them move. Every action you take is a contest between inertia and force. That's what keeps life interesting. Inertia is everywhere, from cars to kitchens to outer space. It's why heavy things are hard to move and moving things are hard to stop. It's the reason we need seatbelts, helmets, and safety features. Inertia is the silent player in every sport and every movement. Here's a quick quiz which has more inertia, a bowling ball or a tennis ball. The bowling ball, because it has more mass. Even your brain uses inertia. Fluid in your inner ear lags behind when you turn your head, helping you keep your balance. Every time you move, inertia is at work. It's not just a textbook idea, it's part of your life. Understanding inertia helps us predict, protect, and engineer our world. Science is everywhere, and inertia is one of its biggest stars.